Hi guys, so hey, I'm finishing up this portrait here, and this is the source photo. Very, very pretty lady. Now, looking at it, I go, some things that look off. So, when I look at it like this, I go, okay, what do I need to fix? Because we're at the tweaking stage, right? We've got everything sort of laid in. And I start measuring. So I'm using this Q-tip that I also use to, rub some of the stuff off, but that's dry. I'll use this end. Anyway, so I start measuring things, and I do lines and angles and things like that to see what's really off, because it's almost never what you think, right? Okay, so let's start up here. You can see that in the source photo, this comes down straight like that, right? Like straight down. And I have it bowing out a little bit, so it makes her forehead look like it's kind of bowing out. So I'm going to basically straighten that out. And you can see that the eye looks a little bit off. Now, part of that has to do with where the pupil is located and the shadows. That needs to come over this way a little bit. So I'm going to fix that. And if you look at where the eye is located versus where this part comes in, because this part comes in and then comes down. And it happens here too with a lot of shadows. There's a ton of shadows right there, which I need to darken. But also this part comes in, so the eye is very close to where the this part here comes in. So this needs to cut in a little bit, but it needs to cut in correctly and smoothly. Now let's look at the lips and the nose. The lips look a little too far over to the right. So what I'm gonna do, because the nose I have outlined here, but the highlight on the nose should actually come out more. If you see, if I drop this down where it is, and if I drop this down, the nose doesn't come out quite as far, so it needs to come out farther. Also, this tip of this lip here needs to be over right here underneath the nostril. So these things are little tiny tweaks, but they make all the difference in the world. In addition, I think I might do something on that eyebrow, because it looks like it kind of comes around a little too much. I might make that I might make that go straight up and down, which would be a little bit more in keeping with the form, but that might be sort of something I don't even need to look at if I cut this off here. So there's a lot going on in this portrait, and portraits are really kind of tough to make them realistic looking and not look like something's off. So we're going to do all those things, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when I'm done with that, and let's hope it looks just like the source photo. Okay, so I made those adjustments. I added a little more light also on the nose and brought it out a little bit so that it's more in line with where it's supposed to be here. And remember those lips? This little point was too far over here. So it made the whole mouth look off. And if I dropped a line down from, say, the middle of the nostril on the source photo, that's where that little point was. And it was way too far over, so it made the whole mouth look like it was kind of sort of off center. So I just moved that little point right to where it's supposed to be, and everything lines up. What I did up here, I added more darkness, like we said. I cut this down a little bit and came in so she doesn't look, discombobulated. The shadows I think are pretty correct. I'm going to probably do a little more shadow up here to kind of match that, make it look like it sort of belongs. This part is all in the light, or various parts of the light, and then there's some light down here where her body contours are, and I'm probably going to smooth those out a little bit. Other than that, I think it looks so much better than when I first started this morning on what I was going to do. Obviously she needs some eyelashes. We're going to do that as well. So there you go, guys. Those tiny little tweaks make all the difference in the world.